Hirohei put something out, I think it was not long ago. Yeah, it was like an hour ago. He put something out in regards to the Online Safety Act over in the UK. So my UK strays, I don't know if this is going to be news to you or not, but this is something in regards to that it could be bad. So let's see what Hirohei has for us tonight. Shall we?
We've got a very unfortunate update for our friends over in the UK. As it's being reported today, Starmer to announce plans for digital ID scheme. We also have a video, we'll take a look about this, reporting on the news. But first, quick context, because we did talk about how Starmer, a few weeks ago or so, was floating the idea around, so to speak. He was saying things like, oh yeah, you guys are unhappy with the mass migration occurring, right? All these illegal immigrants coming over. Well, how about if we just roll out mandatory digital ID for everyone? This, of course,
which wouldn't fix the problem. Complaints regarding mass migration, both legal and illegal, and how it is affecting the country in a dramatically negative way, is not offset by doing digital IDs. Because they're just going to give the immigrants these digital IDs. So it's not going to make a fucking bit of difference. And what's more, it's going to be another color that the party can put on the people so they can track them that much easier to arrest them for wrongthink, like what they've been doing recently. Like, leave us not forget, there was those two finger women that showed up at the mom's house to try and seize a little girl's phone because she retweeted something naughty. Because she retweeted something that went against the message. And they wanted to actually seize the daughter's phone. So, yeah, the digital ID would do nothing, absolutely nothing, to stem the flow of migration in the UK. So, fuck you, Starmer, however the fuck you pronounce name. Fuck you, you're full of shit and we all know it.
Follows Ofcom recently rolling out the Online Safety Act, which has been receiving a ton of very reasonable criticism for a lot of reasons, including government overreach. And they lie about that, saying, oh, it's to protect the kids. Similar thing going.
So that was a fucking lie.
Had to be done. And if he's quoting Starmer anymore, I have a feeling that button's going to get a fucking workout today.
On here. Starmer wants to roll out mandatory digital ID under the guise of, oh, it's going to help us tackle the immigration crisis, when clearly there are a number of things that he could do if he actually wanted to tackle the crisis, and mandatory digital ID ain't one of them. This is...
Yeah, like, crazy fucking idea. Fucking lock down immigration. Crazy idea, I know. How about you lock down the immigration period? Like, stop bringing in so many people. You are a small fucking island. You do not have the logistics. You do not have the resources to be bringing in hundreds of thousands of immigrants from the Middle East and East India that want to do nothing but destroy the country that they're coming into because they want to turn it into the Middle East or East India 2.0. So you know what would fix the problem? You fucking lock down the border and say, no more. We're full. That would fix the problem. And then you take the ones that are actually in there already and the ones that refuse to assimilate or acclimate and want to actually continue to turn the country into the Middle East or East India 2.0 and say, get the fuck out. Like, pitch them the fuck out. You are a guest. Act like one or we'll happily boot you back to where you came from. Like, fucking do it.
Just more government overreach, at least in my opinion. And of course, he's trying to justify this in a very disingenuous way. And so BBC says, Sir Keir Starmer is expected to announce plans for a compulsory UK-wide digital ID scheme in a speech on Friday.
God.
The Prime Minister believes it would help crack down on illegal working.
Well, Zeb, here's the thing. The ones that immigrated legally, like, number one, the illegal ones, bye-bye. The legal ones, again, the concept of they're still coming in as guests still applies. If they migrated legally, or if they migrated under the auspice of what's the word I'm looking for? Like asylum seekers. Technically speaking, asylum seekers would be considered like legal migration, quote unquote. But if these asylum seekers basically refuse to acclimate, refuse to assimilate, then the government has full authority to basically go, okay, you don't want to assimilate to our culture. You just want to trash our country and basically bring all the filthy habits that destroy your country and try and bring them into our country, and you refuse to assimilate and become British, then it's very simple to revoke that immigration status and say, see ya. So, when you immigrate, like, I apply the same thing to myself. Okay, this is not me just talking from a place on high saying I'm so much better. Like, this is me talking from myself personally. Like, if I tried to do something to basically substantially disrupt my community or Canada by, like, say I just wanted to, like, okay, I'm gonna get extremely stereotypical here. Take this with a huge grain of salt. This is being comedically stereotypical, so bear that in mind. But say I basically brought my Americanisms and I just started being, I started being obscenely racist and stockpiling guns and basically, saying anybody that comes in my house, I'm shooting them dead, and basically just being comically stereotypically American. Bearing in mind, I'm talking about like over the fucking top. This is the shit that they make jokes out of, that people like this only exist in the extreme minorities, okay? But say I did that, I would fully expect the Canadian government to take one look at me and go, yeah, okay, we're revoking your permanent residency, get the fuck out. Like, I say this as someone who is technically an immigrant in Canada. I respect Canada. I will call Canada out on shit that I see wrong, just like regular Canadian citizens. But I still recognize that I am not a citizen of the country. I'm a permanent resident. I'm a legal migrant of this country, and I respect the country as a whole. I do not basically go, Canada is shit, US so much better, blah, blah, blah. No. Like, I have, especially when I was in Newfoundland, incredibly different culture in Newfoundland. But you know what? I didn't basically walk around saying, like, you're a dumbass redneck, you don't know shit, don't talk to me. No. It's like I assimilated myself to the culture. I didn't obviously I still talk like myself. I didn't gain a Newfoundland accent or anything. But it's just like, I just lived amongst the people in Newfoundland. And there was integration society. I respected the cultures because there's some things in their culture I didn't agree with, like the copious amounts of fucking drinking. Like, I may not agree with it, but it's not like I called them out on it. So this is coming from the mindset of someone who is themselves a migrant in the country where I now reside. It is coming from that viewpoint when I talk about stuff like this. Just so you were. So when I talk about, like, okay, if they're gonna basically trash the country after migrating into the UK, and they're gonna just like leave filth everywhere, they're gonna shut down traffic by basically doing prayers in the streets, and they're basically fucking up the country because they refuse to leave the disruptive and dangerous facets of their homelands in their homelands, then yeah, they're a problem. They are a detriment to the country. Their migrants, their immigration status can be revoked, and they can get booted right the fuck out of the country. And for people that are causing problems, where they're causing the destruction of the country, where they're saying that the national fucking flag, that the Union Jack and the St. George Cross are symbols of, and they're saying they're symbols of racism, while they run around waving around the Palestinian flag and what have you, and saying that they're going to destroy all UK citizens, and that the Muslims are going to take over the UK, yeah, revoke any legal citizenry and boot them the fuck back there, because if they're so hell-bent on having a Muslim country, then they can go back to the fucking Muslim country that they supposedly escaped from. It's literally as simple as that.
Scheme in a speech on Friday. The Prime Minister believes it would help crack down on illegal working and modernize the state, according to senior figures in government. The practicalities of the scheme will be subject to consultation, which also look at how to make it work for those without a smartphone or passport. Oh, you don't have a smartphone or passport? Oh yeah, we're still going to come for you though. Don't think you're getting out of it that easy. The previous Labour government's attempt to introduce ID cards was ultimately blocked by the Conservative Liberal Democratic Coalition. But earlier this month, Sir Keir said in an interview he thought the debate had moved on since then. We all carry a lot more digital ID now than we did 20 years ago, and I think that psychologically it plays a different part, he added. Reports have suggested the government plans to use a new scheme to check people's rights to live and work in the UK, with people's individual ID checked against a central database.
Okay, problem. They're not doing that now. We've already seen that they have facial recognition vans out in force in the UK. We saw this in another video. They've already got facial recognition vans posted throughout the UK. So why can you not use those for the immigration database? So that when they scan up, why not upload the immigration database to that? So instead of basically going after, instead of doing warrant checks, like, I don't know, you have a warrant because you liked a post that was critical of the government, and so you have a warrant, so we'll arrest you for it. Why not use those facial ID recognition vans for immigration so that it's scanning thousands of faces per day, and if one pops as being, oh, they're not here legally, you snatch them up, you throw them out of the country. How about it? Why are you not doing that instead of going to a digital ID requirement for literally everyone? Huh? Any shadows? Yes, so much of stuff is digital now, but you know what? Identification is not one of them. And the digital ID, guarantee you, if you want to see the response of most UK people I post in the VIP. Okay, thank you, Hackle. It's like the difference here with the digital ID is guaranteed that the plans for the government with this, the plans for the party in the UK is to take this digital ID and then integrate it into the Online Safety Act. So they're going to make it so that for you to even access your computer, they're going to require the use of your digital ID in order to even access your computer. Plus, it's also requiring that every fucking person carry a smartphone with them at all times, which means that the government can track your every movement via GPS, because it's now going to be required that you have a digital ID on you at all times, which means you must have a smartphone that's capable of using having the digital ID. That smartphone's going to have GPS, and I will guarantee you, the app that they make for using the digital ID will be required to access your GPS, which means the party is going to be able to track you everywhere you go and monitor everything you do on that phone. So it's not just simply like, oh, it's just a digital ID card. You don't have to carry around a physical card. This is so much better. No, I guarantee you there's nefarious behind this. That this is every sci-fi dystopian film come to life. I will guarantee you. And it's going to be used to track people, to monitor people's online usage, and to locate them so they can be arrested. I will guarantee you.
These checks are currently based on physical documents, although routes to complete the checks online for some people have existed since 2022. Plans for a digital ID scheme did not feature in Labour's election manifesto last year, and the government had previously rejected a proposal for digital ID suggested by former Labour Prime Minister Sir Tony Blair. But in recent weeks, ministers have spoken with increasing enthusiasm about the idea, as they have come under increasing pressure to tackle illegal migration. Cabinet Office Minister Pat McFadden has also talked about...
Okay, I'm sorry, this line right here, increased enthusiasm about the idea as they've come under increased pressure to tackle illegal migration. Now, illegal migration, yes. They've also been under increased pressure around their, quote, legal migration. because of the individuals that the UK has allowed into the community under the auspice of asylum seekers. It's not just simply illegal. See, this is them. They're taking the one thing where people have said, the people of the UK had said, we are sick of the legal and illegal migration because both sides are bringing in people that are a detriment to the country and are literally destroying the country by leaving filth everywhere, by attacking by attacking UK, native UK citizens, by outright telling people in the UK, we're going to take you over, we're going to outbreed you and turn the UK into a Muslim country. That's legal and illegal migrants. But they basically latched onto, illegal. We can say, because if we say legal migrants, then then basically they're DEI woke people that are in government will throw a shit fit going, you're being racist, and God forbid they look racist. So yeah, it's bullshit. This is all fucking double talk right now.
About the scheme's potential to improve access to government services, he recently visited Estonia, where digital identity can be used to access services such as medical records, voting, and banking. Cynical ploy. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch said introducing mandatory ID would be a very serious step that requires a proper national debate. She criticized the government's announcement as a desperate gimmick to distract attention from the leadership maneuverings of Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham ahead of Labour's annual conference next week. She has previously said that digital ID was not really going to solve the problem of illegals working in the UK.
Yes. Why? Because how many illegals are actually receiving government IDs from the UK? I guarantee you, all the people that are quote unquote illegal are still receiving identificate like ID, like the traditional ID from the government. I guarantee you, it's like a digital ID does absolutely nothing to prevent illegal immigration. For one very specific reason, identification already exists. There is already normal identification that exists within the UK that people in the UK get. By doing a digital ID, this is literally a not very well hidden attempt to geotag every one of your citizens. If they could, they make it implanted microchips. I guarantee you. But because implanted microchips of this stripe don't exist yet, they're going to do it on the one thing that people always carry with them, which is smartphones, and basically make it so it's illegal to not carry your smartphone with you.
Reform UK has denounced the plan as a cynical ploy to fool voters.
Black Wolf, this woman is against it. This woman, the conservative leader Kemi Badenoch, is against it. She's basically said it's a very serious step that requires debate, and she also said that the digital ID was not going to solve the problem of it. So she's against it. Okay? Just bear that in mind.
Something is being done about illegal immigration. It's laughable that those already breaking immigration law will suddenly comply, or that digital IDs will have any impact on illegal work, the party added. All it will do is impinge further on the freedoms of law-abiding Brits. The Liberal Democrats, who played a central role in blocking the previous Labour government's ID cards, have said they cannot support a mandatory scheme. People shouldn't be turned into criminals just because they can't have a digital ID or choose not to, added technology spokesperson Victoria Collins. Former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn, who is set to launch a new left-wing party in the coming weeks, said he was opposed to a compulsory scheme, branding it an affront to our civil liberties. All right, that was BBC.
It's going to go that way.
Let's take a look at what Sky News has to say about this. They say breaking news, and we've got a 3-minute clip.
Breaking news now. Digital ID will be made law for all adults in an effort to tackle small boats. Downing Street believes that a mandatory ID card system will help stop illegal immigrants working. Let's bring in our political correspondent, Mari Aurora. Mari, what more do we know about this?
Yeah, well, Gareth, this is interesting because this is something that has been spoken about a lot. Tony Blair, for instance, has been talking about this for years and years as what he always believed was one of the best ways to try and reduce illegal immigration and the ability for people to work illegally here in the UK.
Which it will do nothing. Again, I like it's been repeated in this video, and I'll keep repeating it. Digital IDs will do precisely fuck all. to stop illegal immigration. It won't do a thing again. It won't do a thing.
But Sky News understands that we will have an announcement, could be as soon as tomorrow, from the Prime Minister on these mandatory ID cards, an ID card system, the Brit card.
It's pretty crazy. Like, it's going to be interesting to see the response from the people about this. I imagine some are going to be supporting it, but I would assume the majority are not going to be supporting this. I mean, Starmer's already like insanely unpopular already, so yeah, it's going to get interesting to see the response.
Well, the response is going to be the people of the UK are going to say, fuck no. And the migrants are going to go, we don't care. We're not going to comply with it anyway. That's literally what's going to happen. British citizens are going to go, no, this is you basically putting a collar on us so you can track us everywhere we go, because I'm sure more than a few are thinking the same way that I did, that this digital ID card is going to access your phone's GPS so the party can track you literally everywhere you go, so you're an easy target if you basically commit wrongthink, and they know exactly where you are, they know where to send the fingermen. And the migrants that this is supposed to stop from coming in illegally are just going to go, we don't fucking care, we're not going to do it anyway. That's what the response is going to be. And by the way, Mason, thank you for the tier 1. I forgot to mention a few minutes ago. Thank you for the tier 1.
And essentially what this will mean, it will be mandatory for all adults here in the UK. It will make it easier for employers and for landlords to make sure that those they are employing or renting or to actually have the right legal immigration status here in the UK. They can
And you know what Starmer's government's going to do if they don't have,
Bullshit.
hypothetically, if it's like an illegal who doesn't have the ID, they'll probably actually reward them somehow. That's probably what will happen.
do it using
Yeah, what they'll do is they'll just give them the ID, which they won't use anyway. Like, that's what the party does, is you get an illegal that comes in, they throw a sob story, and they go, okay, here's an ID. That's what's going to happen. That's why it's not going to do a fucking thing to stop any of this.
a smartphone app. It's also, according to the government, going to make it easier for people here in the UK to essentially prove their status or their ability to kind of qualify to be able to work here in the UK. And essentially, this is all about immigration. This is all about trying to tackle small boats crossings. We've had...
She did say essentially, not allegedly, right? I don't think she said allegedly. I would say allegedly.
And essentially,
yeah.
This is all about immigration. This is all about trying to tackle small boats crossings. We've had a lot...
Okay. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to suggest this. I'm not going to advocate it. But they already know how to deal with small boat crossings. The rhetoric is already making the rounds through the UK and other countries in regards to these small boat crossings. Like, the rhetoric in the UK, again, this is not coming from me. This is coming from the UK itself. The rhetoric is sink the boats. They already know how to deal with the small boats coming, that are coming across. The people of the UK already say it. They've already gone from, basically save the boats to sink the boats. It's already started. It's happening in, what was it, Spain? I think it's Spain now, that's basically become the mantra for the boats bringing in illegal migrants. The mantra in Spain is sink the boats. Or is it, it could be Greece. It could be, or is it both? Honestly, I think it's more than one. That has become the rhetoric now, is basically the rhetoric now in the EU and Great Britain is starting to become sink the boats. Because they're tired of, because the people's needs countries are tired of being invaded. And at this point, there's no other way to look at it. There's literally no other way to look. Well, Kaibo, I think it went from help the boats to turn the boats around to now I think it's actually changed to sink the boats. Like we've seen an evolution in the opinions regarding the migrant boats. And it's like it's happening all throughout the EU and in the UK. And it's like there is, largely speaking, every Western country right now, the populace of that country is done with migration. Every Western nation in the world is done with the mass migration coming out of the Middle East and East India. They're done. The people are done. Because because now there's no other way to look at it other than an invasion. With the way it's tracking, and looking at this invasion, because the people that are coming in on these boats or crossing these borders were claiming asylum. They have everyone, like, I would. This is a rough guess. Do not quote me. This is completely unscientific. This is a rough guess. Probably about 80 to 85% of the migrants that are coming into these Western nations have no desire to assimilate. They just want to continue to bring basically the filth from the lands that they claim to escape from, but they actually just want to bring that to the new country and basically turn the country that they're coming into the shithole that they came from. And everyone is done for it. Well, Baumage, I don't have scientific data to back it up, so I was basically just doing I freely admit this was a gut feeling number. No science behind it. I could be 100% wrong in those numbers, but I was going from my gut. That's where I came up with that number. And it's just, people are done. People are just overly done with it. We've seen videos of, basically it's Muslims, but we've been seeing videos of Muslim people saying, we are invading that have told people, we're invading your country. This will turn into a Muslim country. That we've seen, videos in the US of some fucking, Muslim guy that was like, I forget what neighborhood he was going around in. But he was basically going to like all the convenience stores and the liquor stores and basically demanding, you have 30 days to stop selling alcohol in your business because we as the Muslims demand it. I'm actually kind of surprised that person was not told, cool, get out before I paint the walls with a new color. I'm like legitimately surprised no one has told this guy. But yeah, there's like some guy. It could be New York. I could be mistaken. Or maybe it was like in Detroit or something like that. Or was it Texas? Okay, it was Texas. Yeah, but we're seeing that. We are seeing that now, and people are done with it. People are just fucking done with it.
Lot of conversation about small boats and about other European countries, especially the French, who have been concerned with the kind of pull factors here in the UK in terms of being able to work in the black market, being able to work illegally here in the UK.
A lot of them don't even want to work anyways. They're getting everything paid for by the government. The government's paying for their hotels. They're giving them food stipends, and they're just chilling in the freaking hotel and then going around the city doing whatever they want.
And trashing the hotel and trashing the city. I will continue to point this the fuck out.
You know how that's defined in some of these cases, too. I laugh out of, like, uncomfortableness, by the way. That's not like a haha funny laugh.
We already know that France has an ID card system. They've had it for many, many years. And it's something that the UK has always resisted, partly because of questions around civil liberties and freedoms, but also because many governments in previous times said they didn't think it was the best approach. Now, clearly, Keir Starmer has been persuaded of the benefits of a digital ID card system and has been persuaded that this might have a significant impact on small boats crossings. The question really,
it's such a joke, man. How about you guys actually stop the small boats somehow? Like, there's various ways that they could do this. And like I said earlier, like, mandatory digital ID isn't going to actually stop the boats. He's trying to say, like, oh, it might stop them from working. Like I said, a lot of them don't even want to work anyways. And then knowing his government, I'm repeating the point, they'll probably find a way to, like, reward the migrants who don't have this documentation, this mandatory digital ID, but then find ways to, like, very seriously punish their actual citizens who don't want to comply to this. Wouldn't be surprised if they get thrown in jail or something like that. Crazy.
I mean, they already get thrown in jail for liking a Facebook post that's critical of the government. So yeah, they'll absolutely get thrown in jail if they don't get digital ID.
And this is always going to be the million-dollar question, is once this comes into play and once it is enforced, how much of an impact could it have on small boats crossings? And if it has a really significant impact on small boats crossings, and it really kind of starts to eradicate that pull factor for illegal migrants coming to the UK, because I think they can essentially make money on the side illegally, as opposed to somewhere like that in France, how much of an impact does that have? And if it doesn't have a huge impact, then of course there'll be sighs of disappointment, I think, from within the Labour Party.
Yeah, I don't think Labour's going to sigh if it doesn't work. I don't think they care at all about stopping these boats, and they clearly
they don't
want to use this, again, in my opinion at least, just to try and have more control over their citizens. And now I just feel even worse for our friends over in Britain. Like, holy smokes, this is bad news, guys. I got nothing else to say, though. I'm sorry about this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Do consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed my coverage. I do appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. So they're trying to push to make the digital ID more reality, and it's going to be a shit show. It's going to be an absolute shit show. Again, I said it before and I'll say it again. November 5th, I have a suspicion, is going to get pretty spicy this year.